What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football, Houston Texans football. Today we're gonna break down, we're gonna preview the matchup that everybody talking about, this quarterback matchup, part two that everybody talking about of Deshaun versus Pat, Defoe versus Mahomes boy, or like the title of the video say, the gifted one versus the chosen one. Now, y'all know how it is. I'm torn. I'm completely torn when it comes to this quarterback matchup in this game because y'all know I'm a diehard Texan fan. But at the same time, I'm a huge Patrick Mahomes fan. Y'all know I'm a Texas Tech fan. I watch Patrick Mahomes every game he's ever played at Tech, and I was big on Pat. I thought that if Pat would went to any other school, if he went to Oklahoma, UT, Alabama, Oregon, Michigan, LSU, that he's the number one overall pick in the draft because he's that talented and he's that gifted. But he went to Tech, and Tech has a bad resume of quarterbacks that don't even make it to the NFL, let alone being stars and being first round picks. So I definitely knew that he was going to get throwing water on him. He was going to get overlooked and underlooked because they're going to just say, "Oh, it's another Texas Tech system quarterback," but he was completely different. And Andy Reid and the Chiefs took a shot, and it paid off for him. And I mean, the things that he does are completely unreal. I mean, he makes throws that you teach quarterbacks not to do. Like Jameis Winston, you teach your quarterback not to make these certain throws and do these certain things on the football field and all these sloppy habits, but he gets away with it. Like Jameis doesn't get away with it. Jameis trusts his arm too much. He can't get away with some of his stuff. But Pat has a way better arm talent and gets away with a lot of it. Not to mention he is mobile. Like he ain't like Deshaun and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. He ain't that mobile, but he can run. He can move for a couple yards. He can get you a couple scrambles and get you some touchdowns and things like that on the ground. He's not a statue. He's not just a pocket statue. So he can move a little bit, but he has a great accuracy and has a strong arm, and he's very deadly in that regard and very gifted. But at the same time, Defoe the chosen one. Like just straight up. Like he has a lot that you can't measure, that you can't see at the combine and stuff like that. But when you throw on the tape, when you watch games, when you watch him on the field, you be like, they can't lose. Like you can't count Defoe out. Like they're down 16-0 at home, and it just looks lost and looks dead in the water. And then like that, they got the lead. The things he does is unreal. Like something that you can't measure. Like you can't measure that about him. Like he's, in my opinion, I think he's born to lose, but he's destined to win. Like he's destined. He's destined to be great. Like when you watch him on the field, you are watching pure greatness. You're watching pure greatness being displayed, and that's why I say that he's the chosen one. I know people want to call him Houdini on ESPN and stuff like that. And I know everybody want to give him the nickname Michael Jordan of football and stuff like that. And all that's cool, but right here on this channel, he's the chosen one. He's the complete chosen one because bad offensive line, Bill O'Brien, bad play calling, secondary questionable. He finds a way to either win the game or get you in the game. Because those games that we shouldn't have been in, like the Eagles, the Patriots a couple years ago, Seattle, New Orleans this year, that he gets you in. Games that he just wills you to win. This game against Buffalo, the game against the Colts on Thursday night, the Sunday night game against the Patriots, he just read the defense perfectly. Like it's games that you win only because he's on the field. It's games that you're in only because he's on the field. And it's not just a pure talent thing. Because he has talent. I'm not saying he's not talented, but he's purely gifted and purely chosen. He's the chosen one. Like he's destined to lose. He was born to lose, but he's destined to win. He's destined to win. And a lot's at stake coming for this game, and not just the Super Bowl. These guys are battling also for contracts. Both these guys are drafted in the same draft. Contracts is coming up. And as of right now, Pat has the edge. He has the MVP, he has the 50 touchdowns, stuff like that. Already made it to an AFC Championship game. So if he beats Deshaun, he's going to walk into the office and say, I won an MVP. I've been to back-to-back AFC Championship games. Who knows if this year leads to a Super Bowl? None. If that's the case, he's going to throw that trophy and that appearance on the table as well. Pay me. But if Deshaun wins, he gonna go ahead and let Pat sign. Go ahead and let Pat sign. He got the MVP. Go on, let him sign. I beat him twice in the same year. Both times at Arrowhead. One of them, we were a 10.5 point favorite, a 10.5 point underdog. Pay me. Not to mention, again, if he gets to the Super Bowl and wins it, he's gonna throw that on the table. Pay me. Pay me. So that's at stake at this point too. It's not just the AFC Championship game. It's not just Super Bowls. From these two individually, they're battling for contracts and they're battling for their legacy because people want to deem this the next Brady and Manning. They want to deem it that. This is when the legacy starts. Legacies are built in the playoffs. People talking about that move in the overtime. That's not wasn't the best move of the game. I think his best play was a touchdown. But the play against Oakland when he get kicked in the eye. The play against Philly when he's bouncing off and then throws a strike. I mean, he just tossed it right there. He threw a strike in that game. When he gets hit in the jaw and the chin and should have threw a game-winning touchdown to Kenny Stills, but then our defense lets him up. Like, those moments, to me, were better plays. But they weren't playoff games. This is where the legacy builds. This is when the stories and the what's the word I'm looking for? But the legacy builds and the I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but y'all know what I'm getting at. This is where all that begins right here. So let's talk about the game and how could this happen? Because the Texans did win back in week 6. Can they copy and paste the same game plan? Because we talk about maybe the biggest win of Bill O'Brien's career was last Saturday against the Bills. The best win of the regular season was against the Patriots. But his best coaching job was against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 6. That was his best coaching job and best game plan since he's been in Houston. His whole 6 years, that's the best game plan. Might not the best coaching job would probably be that we just gonna take out them 6.5 games his Deshaun rookie year because obviously that was just a tease and an outlier from a coaching standpoint because we never get back to that offense because Bill O'Brien ain't never calling that offense again for some strange reason. But this was his best coaching plan and game plan that he's ever had in the 6 years he's been in Houston. Was that week 6 game against the Chiefs. Could you do the same things? We're going to talk about things that you cannot do and things that you can do the same. One, Carlos Hyde can't fumble on the first play of the game. Like that's how Carlos Hyde can't fumble on the first play of the game. Also, you can't pistol in turnovers. So that strip sack that you had on Pat, you can't, like I said last night on the Sauce, you can't pencil those turnovers in. Like, you can't pencil, you're going to get a strip sack and be placed at the 10-yard line and you're going to score a touchdown and take the lead of the game and then never let the lead back up. You can't copy and paste that. You can't, unless you're playing against Jameis Winston, you can't bank on turnovers. You can't guarantee turnovers. Unless you're playing against Jameis, you can't guarantee turnovers. So, those are things that you can't copy and paste. Also, you can't copy and paste that they're only going to get the ball for 5 minutes in the second half and only 1 minute in the fourth quarter. That's something that you can't copy and paste. You got to think that they're going to have the ball more times and more opportunities. But what you can do is take the same game plan that you had, which is keep Pat on the sideline as much as you can by grounding it out. You can do that, but just don't do it in the same way. Don't give the ball Carlos Hyde 50 times. I'm not saying that. But what they need to do is like how he had the little short passing game working, more RPOs, also run the ball with Deshaun. It's the playoffs. Forget everything else. Forget the preserving. You have to run the ball with Deshaun. Use Deshaun's legs. Because this Kansas City defense, I don't know people talk about, but Kansas City defense has gotten better. All right. Their last loss was week 10 against the Titans. I think it was week 10, November 10th, my birthday. Shout out to all the Scorpios out there, you know what I'm saying, November. Hey, no. That's the last time they had lost. Other than that, they went on the win streak. And they really ain't played no offenses. I mean, the two offenses that they played, they were legit, had talent, or the Chargers, and the Chargers both, like, Chargers had 17 points the first time, and then the last game they had 21 points. And we already know how Phillip Rivers turns the ball over. He's just as bad as Jameis. He's not as bad, but damn near. So damn near all the Chargers lost ended on the same thing. They turned the ball over in the red zone the last play of the game. Like, so all their games pretty much ended the same way. All their losses did, rather. So, okay, cool. the Patriots. We've been talking about how the Patriots don't have no offense, how they don't have no weapons, they don't have no receivers. They tried to get AB, that didn't work out. They talking about calling Gronk. They try everything they could, turn every rock over trying to get some receivers. So we know about that. Then they play against Chicago. We all bank and clown the Bears for drafting Trubisky over Mahomes and Watson. And then they also play Oakland. Like, they haven't really, okay, yeah, their defense might quote unquote improved, but from a number standpoint, but they still, I mean, they haven't played, just like I said about the Patriots, they haven't played high-power offense in that point. The times that they did play offense with talent, they allow points and allow yards. They just happen to get turnovers. So you can't turn the ball over. Brings me to my biggest X factor of the game. William Fuller. I know everybody going to be saying you can't bank on Will Fuller. Man, Will Fuller has to play Sunday. He has to because he does so much. He opens the game up so much. Deshaun is, I think, a whole touchdown better than with and without Will Fuller. I think they average 7 more points. And the reason why is not just because Will Fuller is a great receiver. It's because he opens it so much. Because with the threat of Will Fuller, it's going to open up Hop and it's going to open up King Stills. Remember, King Stills didn't play that Week 6 matchup. So, like, the game against the Patriots, Will Fuller goes down deep, drops a touchdown. The next play, Kenny Stills is wide open because the defense is worried about they worried about Kenny. They worried about Will Fuller getting loose, and then of course they worry about Hop. Kenny Stills runs by, boom, touchdown. The game on Thursday night against the Colts, Will Fuller comes out there, gets 140 yards, gets 2 big 50-yard bombs, and it opens up the play for who? D-Hop. So just if you with him on the field, it's going to open up Hop and it's going to open up Stills. And not only that, just imagine if you were defense and I come out there, Deshaun's the quarterback. You got Hop on one side, you got Stills playing the slot, and you have Fuller over here spread out. Their defense is going to spread out because they're going to be worried about these receivers getting loose, especially you got 2 guys who's fast and one's a home run hitter. Their defense is going to spread out. They can't afford to put 7, 8 in the box. They can't do that. They can't run their risk. It's going to blow. Fuller's going to take the top off the defense, so the safety has to roll over. Carlos Hyde, running room. Deshaun, running room. RPOs to the tight ends. All those things open up. Short intermediate passes now open up because they're worried about this deep. Not Kenny Stills, but Carlos Hyde. Somebody please get Carlos Hyde a different jersey. Because last game, Carlos Hyde left by 50 yards on the field because he kept on getting pulled down because they were holding on to his jersey. He left by 50 yards on the field. So somebody get him either a different jersey or a breakaway jersey that when it touches the jersey break apart or something like that. I don't know. They do something. That way they can't hold on to the jersey so Carlos Hyde can at least get them 50 yards back. But you have, in my opinion, what they should do, they should come out there, spread the defense. Deshaun should have 2 plays in his head. And they're basically the same play, but one's a pass and one's a run. But everything about the play is the same except for if he's going to throw it or if he's going to hand the ball to Carlos Hyde or Duke Johnson. And the reason why I say that is because when you spread the defense out, he reads the defense. Okay, this defense is playing pass. The run lanes is open. He makes a quick call, and everybody's first, like Fuller and Hop and Steele's first step is like a route. It's not just straight up we blocking. They initial step or two is to run so that DB, them corners, and them linebackers backpedal. Because they'll just think, it's a play action. It's a play action. So they backpedaling, but it's not a play action. Carlos Hyde gets the ball. He gets 4-5 yards. That's all you need. That's all you need. If you get 4 yards to carry, 4 yards, 1 carry, 2 carry, that's 8 yards, 3rd and 2. First down. First down. First down. That's chewing up the clock. That's keeping 15 and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and the rest of the offense on the sideline. That's what the Texans have to do. It's not just with Carlos Hyde. Running with Duke, running with Deshaun, RPOs, so he could dump it off the fields to Akins, to Thomas, whatever. Like, the biggest X factor in the key to the game is Fuller because he's going to open up. But the other two is Darren Fells and I think, in my opinion, the combination of Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson. Because Duke Johnson, he's got to come up big in the receiving threat. We don't give Duke the ball enough, and I think that Duke is probably happy being here because he's in the winning organization. They in the playoffs. They won the division. He ain't never been to the playoffs before, but he got used way better in Cleveland. In Cleveland, he had like 600, 700 yards as a running back catching out the backfield, moving them around the slot. Something we don't do. We don't never just move him around. Like, we have the pieces, especially when Fuller's here, to move other people around, put other people in the slot, like Duke, to open up more mismatches. Duke, the most we used Duke was the game against the Patriots because they realized that those linebackers couldn't cover. They realized that the Patriots linebackers couldn't cover and that Duke was a mismatch. Also, he was a mismatch running the football as well because Duke also ran the ball a lot in that game as well because he was a complete mismatch. You seen the moves. He only got 6 touches Saturday. All of them were big touches. Every time he touched the ball from a run, when he ran, he was gashing 8-9 yards. Just straight gashes and slashes. The reception he had for was it 18 yards in overtime, 3rd and 18? When he catches the ball, runs, makes a move, and then dives, keeps his knees up like he's floating, makes sure he gets that first down. Things like that. Not to mention the block he had, like it might have been a legal block, whatever. Hey, they ain't called it. When he blocks 2 guys at one time, like he's very key to this game. So the combination of him and Carlos Hyde are complete X factors. And then the tight ends, mostly Darren Fells, because Darren Fells in the beginning of the year was money. That RPO was unstoppable. Remember, this is the game. They can't fucking stop us game. That RPO in the beginning of the season, the first 6-8 games of this year, right up until the bye week. Because when we got to Baltimore, it's like the RPO like disappeared, and then they didn't really use it that much. I think I know they used it in the touchdown against the Patriots. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was Akins that scored. I think it was Akins that scored on the RPO. But like the RPO just like vanished away. Like we just forgot about it. But the first 7-8 games of the season, it was money. It was virtually unstoppable. They need to get back to that because that's also short, quick passes. That's the reason why Darren Fells got 7 touchdowns. Like short, quick passes. It chews up clock. It moves the chains. Keeps 15 and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on the sideline. That's what they need to do in this game right here. It's not just, I'm not saying hand the ball off 40, 50 times to Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson. I'm saying hand the ball off to both of them, do quick passes, run the ball with Deshaun, do some RPOs, run the ball with Deshaun, read option, whatever, and also spread that defense and take the shots when you can. Because I know people say, we know Fuller dropped 2 touchdowns. He did. But I'm only going to count one that he dropped because one touchdown that he dropped, the Texans scored like either 2 plays later. I don't know if it was the Carlos Hyde touchdown or if it was Deshaun's second rushing touchdown, but we end up scoring right after he dropped the touchdown. Then like 2-3 plays later, we end up scoring. But one of the dropped touchdowns right after that, Deshaun threw a pick. Like same way, 2 picks later, Deshaun threw a pick. So you can count like that drop touchdown hurt us, just like the one against the Patriots. He dropped the touchdown against the Patriots, but it didn't hurt us because the very next play, Kenny still scores a touchdown. I mean, it hurts his stats, but from the production of the offense, you still scored. You still got the points, and actually took off some of the clock, so it kind of in some weird way benefited you because it took a little bit more time. You didn't score as quickly. But the ones that he drops and then turnover on downs, or you only get a field goal or a turnover, those are the ones that hurt. Those are the ones that you got to look back and like, So he does have to catch the football, but just the simple threat of him being out there is going to spread that defense like this. Defense like this. That defense is going to spread open like that. And now they don't know what to do because they can't afford to let Fuller just go fly by. They just can't. Just like the offense can't afford to allow JJ to come free. Because it's a picture that I put. It's a picture I got from the Buffalo game that I'm thinking is Jacob Martin is running free. Because they got 4 guys blocking JJ. That's it. Like JJ's getting double teamed, and the other 2 linemen are turned looking towards JJ's direction, and Martin is just flying right through. Because they okay if they let him make a play. they could look stupid if they allow the three-time defensive player of the year make a play and run scot-free. They're gonna do it because he has the most talent. They're gonna do everything they can to make sure that he does not make a play. Same thing with Fuller and same thing with Hop. They gonna make sure Hop don't get none, and their main focus is gonna be on Fuller. We can't allow Fuller to blow over the top. That's when Steele is alive. That's when Duke and the tight ends and also running lanes can open, just like they do for Lamar Jackson. Running lanes can open for Deshaun. Run the football with Deshaun. It's the playoffs. If it's week one, I get that you want to preserve and you don't want to run so you got last 16 games. It's do or die right now. People legacies, Bill O'Brien, your coaching legacy on the line because right now Deshaun is trending up. He's 1-1, and even if he loses in this game, if he loses in a tough battle, the trajectory's still going up. You're the one that's been here for 6 years, and we looking at the Kansas City loss in 15, and then we looking at the Colts loss last year. You're the one that's married to these other losses, the loss in New England, even though you fought hard for a while, but you're the one that's got these other losses in your resume. He will only have last year's and this year's, and his trajectory is going up because of the plays he made against Buffalo. Not to mention the first half of Buffalo sitting at the feet of your desk as well. So what are you going to do? You have to come up with another game plan like you came up back in week 6. It can't be the exact same game plan, but it has to be something similar. And 10.5 point underdog, I get it because the Texans have burned a lot of people, but that is very, very interesting that they're a double-digit underdog. That means in NFL terms, when you a double-digit underdog, that means they looking at a true blowout. They looking at a 15 to 20 point spread. That's what they looking at. They saying that you're going to be beat by at least 2 touchdowns, if not 2.5 to 3 touchdowns. I think this game gonna be closer than a lot of people think. I think it really is going to be one of those quarterback battles. I think this is the beginning of something between part 2, the beginning something between Deshaun and against Pat. And these are going to be guys who are going to be battling for years to come, especially coming from the same draft class. They both have immense talent, but I think one is completely, utterly beyond gifted, but the other one's beyond chosen. And I think the Texans get the dub and get the win. I say 23-20 at Arrowhead, and we see our first AFC Championship game. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I holla.